Alright, what's going on, guys? It's Chad back here on some more Warzone. I was gonna actually play Cold War today, but so we ended up getting a response from, Activision, Call of Duty in general, about the cheater situation going on in Warzone. I know that, at the moment, Raven is like the one that's, pushing this whole thing. It's been trying to keep, Warzone going now. Not entirely sure what Infinity Ward is doing. Maybe working on the next, I don't know. I think it's Sledgehammer next, but we ended up getting news, an anti-cheat update, and it really makes it sound a lot better than it actually is. Oh, look, oh god, I hit X, but okay. This game, honestly, it's funny. My fault. That's my fault. So they put out this anti-cheat update. Doesn't mean that they actually put out an actual anti-cheat into the game, but they ended up giving us an update here. And in that update, they basically again, asked more people to stop hacking, please. I hate to sound so pessimistic all the time, you know what I mean? But it just seems like every solution they always have just seems to be slightly not enough, or they go through so much work to get that kind of scheme or thing out, and it's completely thwarted within days of that release, knowing that we're probably gonna have to wait months again for another one. Gonna drop hospital, top hospital. So they end up putting out a little blog post where they basically updated us about their anti-cheat and what they're gonna bring to us and all this other stuff. And when you initially look at that, you're like, oh shit, they're gonna actually go and put an anti-cheat, a real anti-cheat into the game. Because I feel like that's what a lot of people would, I don't know, hope more or less. I don't even want to talk about this game anymore. Never mind, I don't want to play it. New Black Ops Cold War update goes live tonight/early tomorrow. Firebase Z, Express multiplayer map, and more. I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to upload an early video for that or not. So I thought reading within that post, just from the headline or whatever, it would end up being something that's a little bit more hopeful for the whole anti-cheat thing. But it turns out that it's basically just another thing announcing that they did a ban wave that destroyed over 60,000 accounts. The company says that they have taken many actions since the game's launch to combat hackers and cheaters in Call of Duty Warzone, including weekly back-end security updates, which the hackers have to work around every single week, and they do. Improved in-game reporting mechanisms. It's, that's fine, whatever, so long as they actually pay attention to the reports, if they're not so plentiful where everybody is just so afraid of everyone being a hacker that any nice shot is reported. So good luck looking through all of them. Added two-factor authentication, which has invalidated over 180,000 suspect accounts, that's pretty good. Eliminated numerous unauthorized third-party software providers. Now, this is their approach. Instead of adding an anti-cheat to the game itself and then outside entities, just can't really get in, they have decided to not really protect the actual game and players with it in itself, and then nicely ask, the people around to not hurt or destroy them or whatever. They did not care. They did not heed that warning, obviously. And it's gotten to the point now to where, people that are completely, quote, innocent players that were just turned cheaters, people that weren't necessarily using it before, and now they're just frustrated, and now they're using it all of a sudden. It's basically convinced them that this is the only way for them to be able to even play. Even if that does mean just ruining everybody else's experience. They've decided to kind of try to attack the big major providers of the cheats. Instead of adding a shield, they're basically trying to take the sword out of the hacker's hand. The issue is you can fasten a weapon out of virtually anything, and that's just attacking the hackers. Obviously the hackers is the most blatant thing, but what about people that are cheating using controller related cheats? Obviously hackers and PC players are, the bigger issue as far as like the actual hacking and shit goes, but it's really only a matter of time until console is equally as disruptive, and they would be if they had the access to be able to do so earlier. People that are just casual enough to just sit there and play on their console, not really play Call of Duty all that much, would really give a shit about the integrity of the game, especially when they know that they won't be punished for it. No, they'll cheat. I'm not really in the mood today to like sit here and just, I don't know, go into crazy amounts of detail about this shit, but
it's like your name's hidden, but if it is you, man, I've been watching your videos for years, man. You're like my favorite YouTuber, bro. I fucking love you, man.
I love you too, man. Thank you.
Love you, Jeff.
Love you too, man. They have decided to try to attack the cheaters at their core. They're basically trying to get rid of the providers instead of, just trying to prevent people from cheating the way that all of the other major and successful anti-cheats have done. I mean, given, if they add an anti-cheat, obviously it's not going to be foolproof. Obviously things will be able to start making it around it and all that other stuff, and it's so weird for me to sit there and try to give the benefit of the doubt to a literal multi-billion-dollar company. Like that joke that goes around, small indie company making the, AAA game. game, they're not small. Like, they have the money to do this. They just don't. And the thing is, like, yeah, they could threaten with legal action and they can do all this stuff and try to discourage hackers from creating hacks in the first place to distribute them. Again, it's just gonna start getting to that point to where it's like, okay, it's just gonna be another thing that they do to get past it. Okay, yeah, now you need a license in order to use it, and they'll just go and not get it with a license, scratch a serial number off of it. Like, we've seen Breaking Bad and shit. Like, come on now. You think people in an online type of thing wouldn't sit there and think that deeply into shit and how they can just get away with all this kind of shit? And cheating and hacking and all that shit, obviously a really shitty thing to do, but a lot of people really just don't care. Apparently. I think I'm gonna start running cold-blooded in that snipers only mode, because a lot of people have found out that you can just run the sentry turrets, which obviously you're not gonna really have a good time trying to destroy sentry turrets with no explosives and all that. They're pretty strong in this mode. So they went and attacked like some big, you know, distributor of the hacks or whatever, and apparently they got him. I don't really know how true that is. I literally watched a stream yesterday where somebody was hacking, was linked in a Discord, and I clicked on it, and people are just straight up cheating on stream right then and there. With every update, I guess, like, they do these changes and stuff like that, so now the hacks don't necessarily work with that update. The hack needs to be updated just like the game. And it seems like the turnaround on those updates is incredibly fast until they either figure out a back-end fix, and the way that they're figuring out how to do this is quickly, because literally yesterday, they went and released that update, which would then make it so people can't hack at that point in time for at least a few hours. And I say at least a few hours because 60,000 accounts, a total of 300,000 total actual bans. Now, here's the thing. I don't know if they're specifying actual perma-bans or the shadow bans, because apparently there's differences between those and how they're applied. There are people with multiple accounts, many accounts, I mean. Like, it's really not difficult to just go and create an account for especially a free-to-play game. Try doing that new thing, you know, with the phone numbers and all that stuff, but again, every single person that is willing and trying to hack will try to find some way to be able to do so. It's not that you should just throw your hands up and do absolutely nothing. I just feel like, as far as all of the ways that I have seen games try to handle cheating, a powerful anti-cheat system that somehow is able to detect the things that are commonly, you know, there, is able to pick it up and not allow people to play before they even start and ruin everything. Again, people are gonna do whatever it is, but I mean, we shouldn't have to use hacks in order to fight hacks. It's ridiculous. So 60,000 brand new accounts have been, you know, banned, and 100,000 more have now just been created. And obviously, whenever they did that update, they had to update their hacks, which, from what I know, was actually literally updated within 6 hours of that update coming out. They are up and running again. 6 hours. 6 hours where there's no hackers. It's really sad that players would have to grasp at the idea of being able to play for 6 hours without having to worry about being cheated in some way. And that's just for hacks. That's not including the stim glitches and all that other stuff. But since we're talking about specifically the hacks, I don't know. This seems like a band-aid kind of situation to me. Just like last time. I mean, banning the accounts is definitely a better step than, you know, saying, hey guys, please don't, you know, cheat. It's way better than that kind of energy. But again, this is, I don't know. I understand trying to discourage them and scare them with like legal action and stuff like that, but if they're small enough, if they create things and then sell them off and then somebody else just uses them instead, they don't really end up tracking the original people that even create them to begin with, and there's no way you're gonna be able to find all the people that do, you know what I'm saying? So it's just, why go on this crazy wild goose chase trying to chase down people that are just trying to hack and fuck up the game when you can just try to like protect the game itself instead of chasing them? Who knows? I mean, maybe they'll, you know, throw some crazy stuff out there and be like, hey, yeah, we got this one and this one and this one, we took all of them out, and then there's just no more hacking. I would love for that to be the case. I really would. I'm sorry, I just don't believe in you guys. I really don't. I would believe in your power to be able to just create an anti-cheat before that, and they have repeatedly done everything in their power to not invest money into an anti-cheat, but instead invest money and resources, likely cheaper, by the way, to just try to catch these people. I mean, we'll see in another year from now if people are still hacking or if everyone hasn't quit the game by then.